They went on their first cruises. And I was able to make that happen because of this opportunity, this business. So it's more, it really is more than just travel too, because in addition to creating those memories, it just created a positivity and a spirit and just invigorated us in a way that you just could not imagine. And you're going to learn a little bit more about that, about in terms of really how travel goes beyond just what you think it is and what you think it might be doing in your life. Is so much better than you can even know. So guys, for me, oh my goodness, this is just on and popping everything that I've experienced with this opportunity. And I hope that you will see that it'll do the same thing for you and not just me, right? You are going to hear from a phenomenal person who is just off the chain. I'm just so happy to have this person in my path, that I was allowed to align myself with her. She is a friend. She is a sorority sister. She's a business partner. And I love her so much. She brings the energy. She brings the fun. She brings the excitement, and she brings the love, because that's who she is. And she has a wonderful wife. She gives so much to the people around her. She is growing in this business in ways you just could not imagine. And she knows about the wealth, right? And she's improving her health and taking advantage of everything that embodies this business, right? She trains nationwide in our company. She is renowned, she is phenomenal, and she is in high demand. So guys, let me tell you, you are in for a treat. We're so happy to have her. So just be ready, listen, and sit back and just feel the fire, guys, because I'm getting ready to present to you the none other than Miss Ann Brown, all the way from Acton, Maryland. Give it.
Hey!
Okay, it's time to critique. Great job, great job. Okay, everybody, who was the person that she wanted to attract?
It seems like people who were looking for a change and wanted to create memories.
I agree. Definitely people who might have been stuck, or people who are looking for a change. Was she believable and authentic?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Very
Yes.
much.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yes. Okay, Michelle. Okay,
Yes.
so everybody, what did you feel? What did you feel?
Excited, ready to listen, everything.
Yeah.
It was believable.
Yes, it was.
Okay. Were you pulled into her story, especially when she started saying, you know, I was in a dark place?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
She was very authentic. She was very passionate, and she pulled you in, and she made me feel like, yeah, this is somebody that I could align with it and do some work with.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I also like,
go ahead,
when she was talking about the growth that she had gained, even as a result of coming into the business from where she was. I thought that was really great, because if I was in that position, I could really follow her, because if she can do it, I would say, well, you know what? I can do that too.
Great. Michelle, I think it was great. I love the energy, love the sunglasses, love the way you came on. I wanted you to do something though. Even now, I wanted you to look at the camera. Don't look at me, look at the camera. Look at the camera. Okay. And I want you to say, I was in a dark place. Looking at the camera.
Okay. I was in a dark place.
And just say, because of Surge 365, I'm now, I have friends, I've changed my circumstances, but say that whole thing, just sum it up and look at the camera.
Okay.
In fact, maybe take your glasses off.
Okay. Woo, Lord of mercy. Okay. I was really in a dark place. a very, very dark place in my life. And after partnering with Surge 365 and forming and locking arms in some very valuable relationships, it was able to help me grow, help me become better, help me to understand and know myself and to know my worth, and that I could be more, and that I was capable of being more. And it helped me to be more than what I was before. And I'm just so grateful that that opportunity was there for me to get past my own pain, my own desolation and isolation, and to get out of that with jubilation. Okay.
Okay. What was the difference? What did you feel now?
Now it felt like she was actually talking to us, and she was drawing me in more so now.
Mm-hmm.
I got in on her story. I mean, her story that pulled me right on over there, you know.
Yeah, I saw you start leaning in. And so that's what you want. And just that one thing,
Mm-hmm.
looking at the camera when you're saying that changed everything. Now,
Okay.
at that point, you got everybody's attention.
Mm-hmm.
So I encourage you that was the only thing that I felt disconnected from you. Because as you were sharing your story, you were looking around, you were doing various things. But I knew that it would be much more powerful if you said, boom, and
right.
I was in a space.
Gotcha.
And so that is really what's going to pull your tribe in. Because you have a powerful story and great energy, but especially while we're on this platform, and I believe we're going to be using this platform for a long time, everybody remember to look, you want to glance at the screen, but try to focus on looking at the camera.
Absolutely. I know that that's definitely a problem that I have, because I'm just.
It's not a problem. It's not a problem. It's a challenge. That's okay. It's a challenge. We all have challenges. It's not a problem, girl.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, everybody was on with your story. Your story was powerful as it is, but that's just one key element that will take it up a notch. That will increase your results. That one key element.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, let's give her a hand.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so Barbara, you're up next. This is your travel party. You get to welcome us. You get to tell your story, and then you get to introduce the speaker.
The homework I did the week before, doesn't that count?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Good morning. Thank you so much for coming here today.
Good morning.
I'm so excited to see all of you and to welcome you to my home. I want to, tell you a little bit about me. My name is Barbara Boone, and I am a part of Surge 365. I was at a point when I got into this business, I was looking for tax deductions because I had kids that had aged out, so I had no more use for them. But so I got to the point I had to get a tax write-off. So I went to a meeting, and it was presented to me, and I was just so excited. I signed up on the spot and figured out how to learn how to do it later. But later on down the road, I didn't realize after 30 years, I was going to lose my job and have to figure out how to start all over again. And I ended up learning how to take this business opportunity, make money, travel, make new friends. And I'm telling you, the opportunities that are here, I'm here to share it with you. I want you to come on board with me, go to the beaches of the world. It's just amazing, even just to stay here, even though we're in isolation. They have training, so I don't have to like I have to do it alone. I'm just, I'm just excited. So I want to introduce you to you, a friend of mine, who I met at one of the beaches around the world. And excuse me. And she's busy. She works full time for a government agency. She's married. She's the let me see. She's a sorority sister. And like I said, we just became friends. And I just want to introduce to you Miss Ann Brown.
All right, all
Yes,
right.
yes.
Okay, way to go. Congratulations.
Woo!
Especially be hot on the spot. So,
Oh, yeah.
okay. Who did she want to attract? Who is the person that she wants to attract? What did her story who would her story attract?
Someone who needed hope, somebody that was in a situation where they were down and they needed an opportunity to kind of pull them out of a rut, out of a hole, would had some bad experiences, and she, to me, would provide them hope to be able to get out of that situation.
All right. Was her story believable and authentic? I'm sorry, Michelle, were you about to say something?
Okay, for me,
Michelle?
Go ahead, Michelle.
Michelle McDaniel.
oh, okay, all right. So for me, she seemed like she was trying to reach people who needed tax write-offs. They needed a business to help them with their taxes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Was this believable? Was her story believable and authentic?
Yes, it was authentic. You could tell that she was kind of nervous, but it was still authentic.
Okay. So sitting here, if you were her guest, we are her guest, what did you feel?
I felt curious and intrigued, and that I wanted to hear more.
Yeah.
Particularly since she was saying that she just made it seem like she was an ordinary person who needed this opportunity for the taxes, and that it came in right on time, as a result of her circumstances, and that it wasn't difficult. The fact that she said, you can learn it later. There's training. You don't have to be, a wizard, just get it. The taxes was the plug for me, and it was very beneficial in the long run. So it kept you drawn in because you want to now know, okay, so how does this work? How was it able to take her, to that level where she needed it when she started out with the whole, with this initial goal in mind, or this was the reason why she took advantage of it. So I want to hear more about what, how that transition went for her or whatever. Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else?
That was what I was thinking. I wanted to hear a little bit more about her story. I knew she was a little nervous, but a little bit more would have carried me a little deeper.
Okay. Anybody else? Well, I thought it was high energy. I thought that you did a great job, especially being on the spot.
Yeah.
However, I remember feeling that as you began to talk, that it was more. I remember feeling that just feeling that this is sales. This is salesy, and I remember feeling, I felt some skepticism coming up, like, is this really, and I did not feel that you were being authentic. I felt that you would have probably been a little more authentic had you touched more on what was going on with the taxes, or what was going on when you lost your job. That would have brought me in. Not all the excitement about what the business can do and that kind of stuff. But if you had told me, look, after 30 years, I lost my job, and not only did I feel, not only did I lose not only did I lose my income, but I lost a little bit of myself. I lost a little bit of my self-worth, because after 30 years, I never thought that something like this would happen. So I began to question myself. Can I do this again? Or do I even want to do this again? And I decided that I was not going to be in the position where I depended on somebody else. I was going to depend on myself. Mm-hmm. Being someone who's lost their job, that right there would have gotten me. That right there, I don't care what I've been like, look, if sign me up, I didn't even need the presentation. Sign me up right now, because I've been there where I've lost in my job, and it does take a bit out of you. Like, okay, why me? And you begin asking those questions. You begin second guessing yourself. Or if you I don't know what your tax situation was. If you said, hey, I owe the IRS, I don't know, $5,000, and I didn't know how I was going to get it. And I was getting letters and phone calls, and they wanted their money. And I knew that eventually they were going to garnish my check. Mm-hmm. And I felt that I was being penalized for a little mistake that I made. And I didn't know how I was going to correct it. But I found this business was able to make those unlimited $1,000 bonus, pay off those taxes, and vow never to get in that situation ever again. That right there would have really, I would have been like, okay, whatever we got to do, let's okay, I'm signing on the dotted line, let's go. Because now you're speaking to me and what I'm doing. And it's not like, oh yeah, you can save on your taxes, you can travel, I lost my job. And then, cause you was like, you lost your job and kept right on going. I lost my job and then I went to travel. And I was just like, okay, this ain't.
Actually, the next day, that's what happened. I called up and went to New Orleans. So.
Okay. Well, if that's what you needed, then that's what. But what made you go to New Orleans? What was the feeling that you had when you lost your job? Because you touched on, you said after 30 years, I lost a job. So either there was a feeling of, shoot, forget it, I'm out of here for a little while, or I needed some mental stability, or the next day I was in New Orleans, so they go into that. And that I think you have a powerful story. You have a makings of a powerful story, a powerful intro. And if you practice that, I'm telling you, people will sign up without hearing the presentation, because you're speaking to them and what they're going through. And at that point, they don't care. They just want relief from whatever it is that they're feeling. And your story is powerful enough. If you develop it, if you just stay in that space, get out of the commercial, rah, get out of that and be authentic. And again, look at the camera and say, I lost my job after 30 years. Not only did that affect me financially, but it affected me mentally. It affected me physically. It affected me so much that I needed to get away. I needed to break away for a minute just to get myself together. So I escaped to New Orleans. I escaped to someplace else, a different environment, just so I can get my plan. I could, really begin to process what happened. And while in New Orleans, I made the decision that I would never be in this position again. I would never let somebody fire me. I would never feel this way. I would always have a plan B. I will always have a way that I could pay my bills. I will not be this vulnerable ever again. Boom. You see what I'm saying? People like, yes, come on, girl. What, okay, what we got to do? What I need to sign? What? Because I'm feeling that right now. Because, what we got to do? You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
forget the rah-rah session and just be real and authentic. Let those authentic feelings come out, and I guarantee you your results, and especially if you're looking at the camera, your results are going to explode. Either the taxes or losing your job, your results are going to explode. So practice that. I'm serious. Practice that story. Practice it, because that's a powerful story. All right, Miss Katrina, you ready? Oh yeah. Good job.
I'm not gonna try to get my music together.
Huh?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I was trying to get my music together.
And y'all, you don't have to go into introducing the speaker. The thing right now is your story. If you just say the 4 things: fun, money, help, and fast. This person loves to have fun, has made a lot of money, loves to help people, and knows the facts. That's it. The introduction of the speaker is not as important as your story.
Okay. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey guys, how y'all doing this morning?
Hey. Woo!
Good morning, it is. Good morning. I thank you guys for coming on to this travel party. My name is Katrina Ellis, and I'm gonna tell you about my story. I've been a single mom and raising 3 girls by myself, and I've done several different sales positions, selling Avon, Mary Kay, all of that. But when I heard, I had someone to email me about a business, and I really listened to it. I heard the video online, and I was kind of skeptical. But then I thought about it, I prayed about it, and this year I got on board. And I'll tell you, the reason I got on board is because I love to travel. I want to have more investment for as tax write-off as well. I'm looking for as my grandkids, get their mothers involved so they can have a future. And I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. 365 is an awesome place to be at this time with everything that's going on, people losing their jobs, no income coming in. If you're needing something different in your life, needing extra money, you can even do it part-time. It doesn't matter, but get on board. Listen to what the speaker has to tell you about traveling. I lost my train of thought. Sorry. About traveling, putting your biz income together, your tax write-off as well. All that plays a part. But if you just listen, I promise you, you won't be disappointed. So come on and open your ears and listen to this speaker that I have brought to you to bring you this travel business 365. Thank you.
All right. Okay, y'all. Who is the person that she wants to attract?
Single mom.
Single mom.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, it was her story, was it a story, and was it believable and authentic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I would say so. Yes.
Awesome. And what do you feel? What do you feel from now being invited? What do you feel?
Like I have a solution, a potential for a solution. Hope.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
I felt like she was concerned about people, and when she talked about helping her grandchildren and some of the other things she said, but I also felt I kept hearing her encouraging people to get involved, to do something that would enable you to help yourself.
Absolutely. Michelle McDaniel, you were about to say something.
that's pretty much what I was going to chime in on, the fact that she was encouraging people and the fact that you can do it at any time. You don't have to do it full time. It's whenever you have time. So you have no obligations or no quotas to meet, I should say.
Yeah. Well, I agree. Nick Brown, did you want to say anything?
No, I agree.
Well, I agree that your story would attract single moms. I agree that it was very believable and authentic. And I felt your sincerity. I felt your sincerity. Your story is so powerful, and I know that it's emotional, but at the point when you're saying, I thought it would have been great when you said, I've done several sales positions. I've done Avon. And just named all of the stuff that you've done, because that's going to draw, when you start naming those, and you can say, I've even driven for Lyft or Uber, that kind of stuff, that now brings that person in that says, oh, I've done that. And so now they can relate to you. And then when you said, when you say, and I do this, not necessarily for me, but I do this for my children and my grandchildren. I want to give my grandchildren a better life. I want to be able to travel with them. I want them to see some of the things I didn't get to see as I was a child, and I don't want them to have to worry about money. I don't want them to have to worry about, how things are going to happen. I want to make sure that they'll be able to go to college. I want to make sure that they'll be able to have the life that they want to have. And now that I'm connected or partnered with Search 365, I now have a vehicle to make that happen. So I felt like it was authentic, but it got a little salesy. In Search 365, I felt that you could, if you develop your story, you're going to have single moms just based on that story. And we've seen it happen before. You're going to have single moms just based on your story. And you don't really have to even say the name of the company or anything. You said, look, I found something that is now giving me an opportunity to show my children and my grandchildren the world, giving me an opportunity to generate extra income. Now, instead of working all those different jobs, I'm able to do what I need to do with just one, and which is now freed up my time and my attention. I'm even able to tithe more at my church and be able to really, give back to my community. And so just say, and then go into the person I'm about to introduce you to. They love to have fun. They know 110% of the facts. They made a lot of money. They've been very, very successful. And they, which one did I have? Oh, and they love to help people as well. And just move from your story into the introduction. And it doesn't have to be all elaborate, just as long as you say those 4 things. The person I want to introduce you to loves to have fun, loves to help people, has made a lot of money, and knows 110% of the facts. Let me bring on Nick Brown. Let me bring on, Janice Parker. Let me bring on Ann Brown. It doesn't matter. The point is your story. The point is not the introduction. The point is your story, because that is what's going to get people on your tribe. So I just thought that your story was powerful, and I encourage you to continue to work on building it and adding those details. And again, looking at the camera and because that really makes people feel like you're talking straight to them. And so that really makes a difference, especially in this environment. Now, when you're actually talking to people, you want to be looking in their eyes and telling. That's why you want to know your story, because that way you can look at somebody and tell your story. And it's the same over and over and over again. So that's why it's so important for everyone to learn your story so that you can look at that person in the eye and tell your story. Even if you don't look them in the eye, you can just look right here. If you have a difficult time looking people in the eye, look at them right here, because they think you're looking at them in the eye, but that you're not. You're just looking right here. And that's a little easier sometimes when you're speaking with someone, but it gives the impression that you're making eye contact. So that's another thing. You want to make that eye contact. You want to make sure that you are communicating, that you are being authentic, that you really want to help, and that this is something that could really help them. And so I just thought that your story was very, very powerful. It instilled hope, and it really, I think it'll draw people in to actually, without, when you don't go into the sales pitch, when you just tell your story and then say, I want to introduce you to somebody, and let it go at that. Let the presenter do the sales, and you just really focus on doing selling your story, then people will relate to that, I think. So I think that's you did a great job. Everybody give her a hand.
Absolutely.
Way to go, Katrina. All right, Nick Brown or Iantha or Michelle, you guys ready?
Okay. Let me see. I'm trying to decide whether I want to deal with the story I gave you or deal with a different one. Let someone else go in front of me, and then I'll pick.
Okay, Michelle or Nick?
I'll go ahead.
Okay.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I want to welcome you to my grand opening showcase tonight. And I want to bring you into my home, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to share with you this evening something that's fantastic and phenomenal, and it's going to blow your socks off. But first, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Nick Brown. I'm from the Maryland, D.C. area, and I worked for one of those three-letter organizations for 36 years. It was always my dream and my desire to be able to create the best life and the best thing that I could for my family. I wanted to have financial stability and be able to just do anything that I want to with my family. But you know, I made a great salary working for the CIA, but I knew that that was not going to be the answer all that was going to help me to be able to reach my dreams and do some of those other things. But you know what? Before I got into this opportunity, I owed Uncle Sam taxes. I almost lost my home. I almost lost my home, and I just wasn't able to do those things and help the people in my life that I wanted to. But oh my goodness, once I had an opportunity and I got into this industry, I was able to become debt-free. Instead of having to pay Uncle Sam was now paying me. I was able to help my elderly parents. My father had cancer. He needed 24-hour service. You know, I was at work, but then I was being able to help him financially to come through those times. My son had relocated and moved to Arizona. And of course, a young man on his path, from time to time, he would struggle. I would have that extra income to be able to help and support him. Now, prior to getting into this industry, I didn't have that opportunity. And I also wanted to make sure that I could leave a legacy for my son and now my grandson. So ladies and gentlemen, this business has just been phenomenal to be able to help me do those things. And I know that it will help do the same thing for you. Now, the next voice that you're going to hear is someone who knows 100% of the information they have been trained and presented on platforms nation around the world. They know how to make money. They've earned over $100,000 in this business. You know what? You can find him on Swimming with the Dolphins in Jamaica, climbing the Great Wall in China, and just sipping Cartagenas in Brazil. But you know what? She helps people. She's building a team international, and she will bend over backwards to help you. I want to introduce to you the phenomenal, awesome Ann Brown, and just listen to what she has to say, because it's going to be able to help you as well.
Yes.
Great job.
All right. So who does Nick want to attract?
Elderly people, elderly and people with taxes, write-offs, and all that.
People wanting to make some extra money
Right.
to help and enhance their financial future, where they see a gap, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And he shared it by making reference to reaching out to family and helping family. I thought that was really good. It's not about people over there, but I want to bring my family along. I want to leave something for them. I want them to be financially, I want to be able to help elderly, all ages, really.
All
He
right.
has some very realistic and relatable financial challenges that every household experiences. You know what I mean? He wanted to reduce his debt. He's debt free. You know, he has parents. Oh my God, who doesn't have elderly parents at our stage of our life that need our help, right? He has a son that he wants to help and support. So, and of course the legacy, but those things were key in terms of that's me too. You know, I got debt, I got bills, you know, I got parents I got to think about, and I have kids that I want to support. So those things really kind of hit home and made it realistic. It's like, look, you know, I work for the government. I might get paid okay, but I got goals and financial needs that this just ain't meeting. This ain't meeting it. This ain't getting it. So
Awesome.
I need a plan B. That's kind of the way what I got out of it, when he was like letting you know that, hey, this is the real deal. This is it for me. This is my situation, right? So, yeah.
And in his introduction, when he said, "Come into my home," he made you feel like you were welcome. That he actually wanted you there to be a part of his story, that we could feel him in his story.
Awesome. So what do you feel when you walk, when after that, what did you feel? What was some of the things you felt? Was it excitement? Was it curiosity? Was it authenticity? Was it, what did you feel?
It was authentic, and I felt as though there was hope.
I also felt the trust, that I could trust him.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome.
Definitely
More
believable. Definitely believable.
Wait a minute. Katrina, what did you say?
Wanting to hear more information. I mean, he got the crowd where they wanted to hear and hear more information about what they're offering. So yeah, he had eye contact as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Michelle, now you were saying something. Michelle Thompson.
I would, like I said before, I was just like, yeah, very believable, and definitely feel like, oh yeah, I want to be on board with what he's doing or what he's done. And he was someone that you could trust and follow.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I thought that it was great. I loved the transition. I felt myself when you were like, oh, I'm glad to have you here. And then you slowed it down, was like, let me tell you something. Mm-hmm. And you leaned up and you began telling your story. I thought that was powerful, because it really went from rah to, okay, look, let me let's get real here. Yeah. I got bills, I got elderly parents, and I got children. And not only do I have a child, but I got a grandchild. And working just wasn't cutting it. It wasn't getting me where I needed to be. And so I just felt that when you're leaning in and actually slowing your pace down, and just really made it much more authentic. I felt like you were giving a piece of you. I also like the hand gestures coming to my home. I thought that was awesome. Mm-hmm. And I definitely appreciated your story. I felt that you could have either one of those stories are powerful stories, and you could go a little deeper to bring people along with you a little more, to really kind of get that hook. But I just think that either one of those stories that you decide to really which I don't know which one you're most passionate about, your father or Jason and Amir, or whether you're or if it's it coming out of actually the freedom of being debt free. And you could actually talk about that, the freedom, the not worrying about not having to put the phone off the hook, so that avoiding bill collectors, now that power that you feel that, okay, no, this is paid, and that confidence that you feel when something is paid off. It just gives you that bit of confidence. You walk a little differently, you talk a little differently. It adds to your worth. And then you can invite people over, and the phone's not ringing off the hook from bill collectors. So you could talk about that, because that's real in terms of what people go through. You might want to talk about having a having a child and wanting to be there for your child, and now your grandchild. You might want to talk about the either the taxes or taking care of your elderly father, being in a position that you can, being in a position where now you could help him live out his last days and make those last days much more memorable. And you can talk about walking them through that entire process, because so many people are going through that. He fought cancer for a remarkably long time until he had to succumb. So you could talk about some of the memories you had, being able to go fishing with him, being able to actually, being able to do his cook, he loved to cook out, being able to experience that last cookout when he said, I'm tired, I'm not going to be able to do this anymore. Being able to actually experience, some of taking him to the doctor, being able to hear, listen to some of his stories when he began to, when his mind wasn't quite as sharp, and how he would transition from now to 20 years back, and you had to listen and kind of figure out where he was to be able to have a conversation with him and to speak appropriately, and so he wouldn't get agitated. Being able, some of the stories that he told, and some of the things that he said and believed. It might be cool to take people through that, because that's what people are going through now, and just saying now, because of this, I had the opportunity to spend that valuable time with my father. I didn't have to work 2 and 3 jobs and have a healthcare worker come in and take care of, and steal all those valuable moments. I got those valuable moments, and I'll keep them in my heart for the rest of my life. And, so if you are in that position where you want to be able to cherish those valuable moments, if you want to be able to create that comfort for your loved one, if you want to be able to be there in spite of life and what you got to deal with, I want you to listen to this next lady, because she loves to have fun, loves to knows all the facts, the thing. So that's the only thing I would do, is just really just bring it, bring it home. One of those stories, really decide which one and really bring it home and make that your signature. So you got 3 stories out of that one story. So just, you can focus on 3 and decide which one you're going to tell. And then, however you want to do the one you think is most appropriate for your crowd.
Okay.
No matter what, bring it home. It's all about you want them to align with you before the presentation. You want them to align with you. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Awesome, awesome, great job. All right. Well, Michelle McDaniel or Miss Iantha, which one?
Okay, well, let me go ahead on and do mine. So, all right. Good evening, everyone. And I just wanted to welcome you into our home here. My husband and I, we just love to share this opportunity of how this business actually helped us and how I actually got started. You know, my sister-in-law was actually the one who introduced us to this opportunity because she invited us to hear a presentation. And although she's deceased now, she knew that I was the one who enjoyed planning and doing the family reunions and just allowing myself to help people put trips together. And I was the one who just enjoyed having them come back to see and hear about their experiences. So from that, we went and we heard this presentation from this man. He was from Macon, Georgia. So that right there, let me tell you, my dad was from Macon, Georgia, and I didn't think anybody knew anything about Macon, Georgia. So that was the first thing that just drew me in to listen to him a little bit clearer. And then he started talking about where he was working at. He used to work at Piggly Wiggly. Now, those of you who are from the South, you already know that that was one of the main stores that you went to get your groceries from. So already I was connecting with that because I was like, okay, this man from Macon, Georgia, a little small town, if he can do this, and he talked about how this opportunity changed his life. He was able to help his family. He was able to make thousands, millions of dollars. But you know, that really wasn't what I was interested in. That was really what caught my attention. When he talked about the travel portion of it, that's really what drew me in, was how I could create the memories from the things that my dad instilled in us. He was always about trying to take us places for the history of it, for having to be able to enjoy ourselves and have a good time. And that was one of the things that actually I thought about. So I leaned into my husband and I told him, I think that's something that I can do, because I just want to have something to be able to bring our families together, to go and be able to enjoy ourselves, to have my children and my grandchildren experience the things that my dad did with us growing up, to leave them that type of legacy. So I took all the training to become a better person, to become a better travel advisor, to be able to create those memorable experiences for people. So in order, I'm sorry, okay, I can't finish it.
Okay, we'll go to the intro. Fun, money, help, and facts.
So with that,
What do you need?
I feel as if I had to share this opportunity to allow you to listen to this person who is able to experience, she's experienced traveling, she's experienced making the money, but most of all, she loves helping people. And that's one of the things that I love about her, and the fact that I can call her a friend. So without further ado, draw your ears in to listen to what she has to share with you, and open up your hearts to hear this opportunity.
All right. Way to go. So who is the person that Michelle wants to attract?
Travelers. travelers. Yes,
Her
avid
message is
travelers
clear.
too.
Yeah.
People who have a passion for traveling and are active travelers and who put together trips, you know,
Right.
for
Big
other
plan.
people, you know, because she said that, you know, that's her thing, you know, that she build family memories and experiences by putting together those trips for her family, and goes to the depth of even becoming a professional at it and taking the necessary training to be a travel advisor. So it's deep, very much so. But she did not leave out the other avenues of opportunities that this company offers, because she said, you know, as far as the speaker, that yeah, you know, he made the money, oh my God, and he also helped his family as well. But that's all well and good. That's possible. That may be for you, but as for me, what got me was the travel. You know what I'm saying? So she let people kind of put it out there like, you know, these are other things that might get you. But for those who are like me, who like to travel, oh, it's on. You know what I mean? So I like the fact she hit on the other aspects of the opportunity as well.
Awesome, awesome. Is she believable and authentic?
Yes.
I think so. Now, what do you feel? What do you feel about when you listen to her presentation? What feeling do you walk away with from her story?
To me, she was family oriented, and I noticed that she kept putting that out there, and also the relationship that she had with the person that got her started in the business, and it's not that difficult. Was with Macon, Georgia, where her dad is from, and if he can do it, and you know, it's not that hard. And then also the guy worked at Piggly Wiggly, and you know, so then like she said, there was other avenues, and but she was believable, real, and um, she just enjoyed helping other people.
I felt that she was dedicated and trustworthy,
Yeah.
committed.
I got it too. Go ahead.
I was just getting ready to say that I felt with her naming off the state that she was from, as well as a familiar store, and those things that just kind of pull you in. Because when you think about where you shop, where you live, and how, regardless of where you live, you can benefit from the business. I thought that was really great. Yeah.
All right, Katrina, did you have anything?
It brings home to me because I'm from the South and we still got Piggly Wigglies up here. So she really reached home for me all the way up here from Nashville, Tennessee. So yeah, so great job, Michelle. Great job.
I saw your head move. You was like, that was amazing. So I knew at that point she got you right then and there. That's awesome. Michelle, I thought you did a great job. I liked it. I liked it when you had Mike there, and I liked it when you did it by yourself. When you said, I leaned into my husband, right then you might have been able to maybe whisper, this is something that I could do. You know, when you lean into him, but no matter what, you leaned in. And I just thought the whole story was very believable and authentic. I may have gone a little deeper in terms of the relationship with your father. Like, why was the fact that Jerome was from Macon, Georgia, and your father was from there? What was it that pulled you in? You know, so it might have been it might have been powerful to hear you talk a little more about my father was a proud man, or my father was a Southern gentleman, and he worked until the day he died, or, you know, it's maybe more about your father. And then transition back to, so when I saw this man from Macon, Georgia, who had done so much, you know, been able to tithe at his church, rebuild their roof, being able to create this lifestyle and being able to help so many people, I just had to learn more. You know, so what was the tie? What was the, you know, not just from Macon, but what was the thing that got you? In fact, he was from Macon. So that's great. That was great. Great job. Great job. Here we go, y'all. Here we
Very
go.
good.
Way to go. All right. Well, Miss Iantha, looks like it's you and me.
All right. Good evening, everyone. I am excited that you are here tonight. You are in for a treat. Let me tell you that. But first, before I get into that, I would like to just tell you a little bit about myself. Now, most of you know me, and those of you don't. My name is Iantha Green, and I was brought into the business by a friend, a young woman that was raised up with, and she invited us to this travel party. And when I got there, I just sat with intense to find out. I traveled before with mission, but never for pleasure. Now, let me tell you something. I am now retired and with a fixed income. And when I heard her talking about a way you could travel, make money, make memories, my ears perked right up. My husband wasn't there with me when it first started, but when he came in, I mean, I was all into it. As they talked, I could see not only helping people on a fixed income like myself, and also those that were like me that had never traveled before as I was growing up. So here is an opportunity. So quite natural, I'm going to listen with all intents. So now I join. And let me tell you a little bit about one of the most amazing things that happened. We traveled on one of the best trips that we've ever been on. And you just got to go with me. Most of you probably can guess. We traveled to Hawaii. Most beautiful place, I mean beautiful place I've ever been in my life. We get to the airport, beautiful women coming up, putting layers on you. And then we go to the hotel, and I'm telling you, as we traveled, we were in Honolulu. That's where we stayed the first 2 nights. I'm telling you, everything around me was beautiful. Flowers and more flowers and more flowers. But it was a 9-day trip that we went on with Jeannie Shopley. Most of you all know Jeannie Shopley and Bill Shopley. And 23 other people from across the nation came to be a part of this. We were there for 9 days. 2 days we were on land. We went to see where Pearl Harbor war took place, Arizona. We also had opportunity to visit more fun things. I mean, fun things. We chose to go on the Polynesian cultural experience. I'm talking about all these beautiful floats on the river rolled in with women, and I think they were competing groups. They were competing, as I believe, as to who could, wiggle the most. It was absolutely wonderful. I mean, it was 14 or 15, yes, and they were going from side to side. It was from the top of the head to the bottom of the feet, I believe. And then, before we left there, we went to a luau. The big pig was laying on the table, and food everywhere, as much as you could eat. All kinds of Hawaiian food, pineapples and all kinds of fruit that they normally have. I'm telling you, we thought we were trying to dress down. You know what I'm talking about? When you try to dress down, fit in. Then the next day, we went cruising to the 7 islands. Each island had its own distinct cotton, beaches everywhere, water, water, water. You know, my blue water everywhere, everywhere. Let me tell you, the beaches and people were laying out, sunbathing and jumping in the ocean, and but blue water. I'd never seen blue water before. Our water is brown, not blue. You can walk in and see your feet. You can see other little things in the water, in the water. It was absolutely beautiful. But I tell you what, how many of you can see what I'm talking about? I know somebody in here wants to go with me when I go in a year or so. At this point,
Yes, yes.
I'm going to stop, because not only did I enjoy, but I had something that I could make money, and I didn't have to use my Social Security and retirement check. This is why the business was so important. See, I need to be able to pay the bills after I came from enjoying the activities or the trips that I went on.
Mhm.
And also, I wanted to help. As I looked at it, I thought, well, you know what? Not only can I help myself, but I can help those my age, and I can help the younger people, because so often they don't think about a second plan. They think that I'm here forever. And I tell you, you never know when you're going to get that pink slip. But I could show them the importance of having a plan B. So I won't prolong this, because I have a dynamic, powerful woman who loves to help people, who has traveled the world over, and not only that, made money doing it. Let me tell you, you can make money. She has made money and had a lot of fun. None other than the dynamic Ann Brown from Maryland.
That was awesome.
That was phenomenal. What a great idea. That story, you need to work on that story. And
Yeah.
you know what? You need to work on that story, and you need to go on and have your group trip planned to Hawaii. Because I'm telling you, you can build your business just on your Hawaiian trip and that story. Oh my goodness. If you just did 2 Hawaiian trips a year, I'm telling you, you could feel it, and just building that story and telling, oh man, you made me want to go. You made me want to go. And when you said, have y'all ever seen blue water? Our water is brown.
Wait, man, don't forget the pig. Don't forget the pig.
Especially right now, I'm hungry too. I was like, yes, indeed, that would be great right about now. You said
That's what got me. Yeah, that's what got me. That's what got me. That pig.
Yeah.
That pig.
Yes, indeed. That was phenomenal. That was absolutely phenomenal.
Great job, honey.
Great job. That made me really, really want to go. Yeah, work on that story. That's gonna be your money maker. That's gonna be your money maker. When you know that, I'm telling you, people gonna be like, you got to hear her talk about about Hawaii. You got to wait till she talk about that pig. I'm telling you.
Blue water. Some people have seen blue water since Tide Bowl commercial.
Yes.
You know, and then she was talking about the young and the old.
Oh, yeah.
The young people.
Yes. And you know the men gonna want to go, because you said the women were shaking their hips. What did you say? Shaking their hips to look.
From the head to the feet.
So it was like a competition from the
And
head
the
to their
beautiful
toe. They was
women-
just shaking.
Yeah, then the beautiful women greet you when you come off the plane, and they were putting the leis on you. And
I'm telling you. So who is the person that you feel Iantha wants to attract?
Everybody.
Retirees. Well, everybody, but the retirement. She really wants people to know, if you're retired and on a fixed income, you can get this done. And I was particularly interested in looking for, when she was talking about the trip itself and how good it was and all of that. the one question I was thinking was, okay, you went, but how did the business help you go? And then near the end, she said, I was able to take that trip without spending my retirement check for all of it and getting my savings. And she said that I could still pay the bills, okay? So in other words, she was saying it was affordable.
Yeah.
So y'all want to know how? All right, keep listening. So
That's right.
That's what I was looking for. I'm like, how did the business help you take that trip? I was looking for that tie-in. And that's what to really put it out there. Yeah.
Okay. Was she believable and authentic?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can resound it.
Very
Yes.
much. Very much so. Very much so.
All right. So what did you feel after hearing her story?
Sign me up. Sign me up.
I would definitely have to use this one.
I kept hearing Nick laugh. I kept hearing Nick laugh. So I knew she.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's amazing. Y'all did such a fantastic job. Such a fantastic job.
Awesome.
What did y'all get from this? What did you get from this experience? What did you get from this training session today? What did you get that you're going to take back with you? That you're going to use?
Story is important. Work on the story.
Yes.
Yeah, because I noticed a couple of you said, sign me up, based on, you hadn't even heard the presentation.
Right.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
That's how powerful you want your story to be, that people are like, shoot, I don't care what it is, sign me up.
Exactly.
Awesome.
So look, the speaker wouldn't have much to tell because she just told it all right there.
Well, that's the whole point. When we say facts tell, stories tell.
That's right.
Tell. So now you just really just introduce somebody to tell the facts, but it's your story that's really going to sell. That's really going to sell your audience and build your team. So it's so important to know your story or know which story to tell at the appropriate time. And so keep practicing your story. That's your money maker. Your stories are your money makers. So keep practicing your story because you'll be able to use that story when you meet people, when you're introduced to people, and when you at a presentation. So you'll be able, you just want to have different stories that you can tell, but just make sure they're authentic. Okay. Okay.
I think that for me, one of the things of looking at everything and listening to everybody, their stories, for me, it's helping me to build confidence and stepping in an area that I had not gone before. And when I think back at the times that we've had travel parties, we just kind of introduce ourselves, but nothing with any that really, I think, will draw people. That's what I've learned from these presentations, and definitely when you have to do it, and then thinking about doing it right off the cuff like you did today, because I thought, we have no little time that we, can put it together. But this was off the cuff today.
So kind of saved mine. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
So it's very important, and y'all, we've got a new presentation. So as you're inviting people, you want to be able to tell your story and go right into that presentation, segue right into that presentation. Sometimes you're going to have someone to introduce, and sometimes you're going to go, it's going to be you.
Right.
But you want to tell that story, and you want to, whether it's taxes, whether it's whatever story you want to tell, making money, whether it's travel, but no matter what you want to, and then eventually you're going to be able to cater your story based on who you're speaking with. Because if you talking to someone who doesn't have a whole lot of money, then the travel story is probably not going to relate to them as much as you speaking into the fact that, they want to make, they want to be able to make some money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was thinking the word, I was thinking earlier, just before I came on, I was like, do I need to throw that word residual income in there? because a lot of us don't think about, we want it right now. And that's why a lot of us people drop out because they can't see that waiting period at all. Or
Yeah.
that building period, I guess, for lack of words, lack of terms,
I wouldn't throw it in unless your residual income is enough to pay a major bill.
Right.
If your residual income is enough to, like a director, your residual income is now paying your mortgage or your car note.
Right.
I wouldn't throw it in. I'd let the presentation handle that unless it's something that you're actually experiencing.
Yeah.
Because then it's not authentic.
Right.
So I think that that you just want to make sure that you're believable and authentic when it comes to your story. And the other questions will come and they'll be answered as well. Okay, so anybody else want to, we are well over our time, y'all. I apologize, but I knew this was going to go a little longer. We are well over our time. And so did anyone have any issues, questions, comments, or concerns? How are you feeling? Are you ready? Have y'all downloaded the presentation? Have you started practicing the presentation? Have you heard the new presentation?
Yes.
Awesome. So see, and that's great because they've actually, if you notice, they've actually included questions in the start of the presentation, which is great because now you can sell your story and go right into asking questions. And so your story is going to be very, very, very powerful. You want to craft a very powerful story. All right, this is the end of the series of What's Your Story. So we're going to start with something else.
Really?
Well, we'll still have the Saturday morning training. Huh?
Oh, you want to share your story? Your turn.
I can. Which story would y'all like? Let's see. Which story would y'all like to hear?
You put us on the spot.
Your childhood story. Your childhood
You want to hear one of my travel stories? Okay. Hey everybody, how y'all doing today? This is Ann Brown, all the way from Accokeek, Maryland. Man, I'm so glad to see all of y'all's faces. Man, you guys are looking beautiful tonight.
Yeah.
I invited you here because I care about you. I do. And I wanted to share something that's changed my life. And I couldn't think of anybody else that I wanted to share it with more than you. Let me tell you, a couple of years ago, I had an opportunity to go on my first cruise. I met the man of my life, and he loved to cruise, and I did not. But this was what he wanted to do. So I said, okay, let's go on this cruise. So I sucked it up. I said, hey, I'm ready. I'm going to be cute. I got my wardrobe together, got my makeup. We had just gotten married, so I got my lingerie and everything together and just said, oh, we're going to have a good time on this cruise. Well, let me tell you, we decided to go on the cruise, and I got a little worried because I looked at the weather forecast, and it looked like there were hurricanes coming in, so the water was going to be choppy. I didn't really know what that meant, but the weather people kept cautioning that the water was going to be really, really choppy. Not having been an avid cruiser, I really didn't know the significance of that. However, we got on the ship, and when we got on the ship, we were just like, it was kind of like, just the ship was just a moving. It was almost as if there was an earthquake on the ship. But that's okay. I said, hey, that's all right. It was a little cool. So luckily I brought a jacket. And so we got there, and we went to get drinks and have dinner before we cast off. And so we were eating, we had drinks, we had dinner. And I decided I wanted to take a shower and put on something a little sexy for the evening. Well, I went back to the room. And my husband had his bag, and my bag wasn't there. So we got the steward and said, hey, I'm missing my bag. He immediately said, oh, no problem, I'll go and find it. So I said, okay, well, I won't put on anything sexy. I'll just try to use my makeup on my, that I had in my purse, freshen up a bit, and go and enjoy the festivities. Well, we enjoyed the festivities and we had multiple drinks. So I came back to my room and we decided to go to sleep. Well, we went in going to sleep. Because I was already, feeling good and everything, I said, okay. But at this point we had cast off, and the ship was in choppy waters. So when you lay down, I was like this. And so that plus the alcohol didn't mix. Then I got really, really afraid. So I started looking out of the window because I had seen the Titanic. And I thought that we were going to sink, because I had never been on a ship that was just moving like this. And so I'm at the window and I'm praying, Jesus, could you please? My husband, my groom, was on the bed snoring. I woke him up. Husband, get up. We're about to sink. The ship is sinking. I'm watching the waves go up and down. I'm sick to my stomach because I'm still drunk. And I'm looking out of the window and my husband is snoring. And I call the name of Jesus. Jesus, if you will help me get off this cruise ship, you won't ever have to worry about me having another drink, coming on another cruise. I will serve you to the day I die. But Jesus, this is a whole lot of water. Can you please? And at that point, I could have sworn I saw a whale jump. I could have sworn I saw the fish and everything, and we was going down. I said, oh, Lord, we are going down. Meanwhile, my husband is... So, I watched the waves all night. When we pulled into port, the water had calmed down, the sea had calmed down, the sun came up, and I could see it was beautiful, beautiful blue water. I said, oh, thank you, Jesus. And at that point, I said, I'm exhausted. I want to go to sleep. And my husband says, oh, come on, let's go do breakfast. Meanwhile, I checked to see, okay, let me check and see if they found my bag. They had not found my bag. So my husband, being the groom that he is, says, you know, you don't really need to wear anything. To breakfast? Just throw on a t-shirt. You don't need no clothes. I said, I haven't been on a lot of cruises, but I think people dress to go to breakfast. Baby, you don't need it. Here's a t-shirt and here's some of my shorts. So, no makeup, hair looking crazy, his t-shirt, his shorts. We go to breakfast. After breakfast, he says, oh, let's go walk around the ship. So we're walking around the ship, we're meeting people. I'm looking like, he looking all fresh and funky. I'm looking like, what in the world has happened? Because number one, I've been sick all night. I haven't slept. I don't have my clothes, don't have my makeup, don't have anything to do my hair. I'm just looking crazy. So we continued to enjoy the cruise. I said, no matter what, we'll enjoy the cruise. I shared his clothes for 4 days. On the 5th day, which was the day that we were leaving, they brought my bag.
Gosh.
And so that was one of the most memorable cruises. And I vowed to God that I would not go on another cruise, nor would I drink anymore. Needless to say that I've broken that vow for drinking, and I've broken that vow for the cruise. And I just have to pray forgiveness, because God saw me through that cruise. Thank goodness, because I'm pretty sure he was probably laughing at my shenanigans and worrying about what in the world I needed to do. I looked so bad, y'all. People, and I was so sick. Other people, guests, were going to the commissary or the gift shop to bring me medicine to take. They were like, "You look so bad. You look so. Let me go try to find something to help you. Wait a minute. I'll just stay right here. I'll be right." And they come back. He goes to dopamine. You look so bad. You know, I got a hairbrush I got a hairbrush. You know, I can take the napkin off and wipe off my lipstick, and you can just kind of use it just a little. And every morning they hadn't found your bag yet, and ooh, and it's your honeymoon. Oh, let me go see if there's something. I got a dress. Let me go see if there's something I can put on. And so that was my cruise, my nightmare. But the great thing about it is that we had just started a travel business. This was the first time we actually got an opportunity to utilize our services. So even though it was a win-win for us, even though it wasn't the best cruise, it taught me a lot. It taught me a lot about travel insurance. Because we had travel insurance, I may not have had my bag, but we got money every day that I didn't have my bag. And so I had an opportunity to get some things, but we all know on a cruise ship, they don't have a whole lot of stuff for plus size people. So we made do with what we had a great time. My pictures, I look crazy, but it's a great experience for me and my groom. And it was a great jump start to getting started in being able to travel more and see the world and experiencing new things. I want to introduce you to someone that I truly admire and respect, someone that introduced this concept to us. They love to help people, love to have fun, and have been very, very successful, and they know 110% of the facts. Let me introduce to you our team.
Oh,
And that was one story.
that was awesome.
To bring
That
some
was
people.
awesome.
What
That
kind
was
of
an
drink did you
awesome
have?
story.
Huh?
All I want to know is what kind of drink you had. That
That was the whole thing. I just went on, girl, the shit was like this. And my husband was saying, "Oh, you know what? You just need another drink. That's what you need."
Well, you know my experience. My experience
like
with those
this.
at cruise.
And people were like, "You okay? You don't look. You don't look. Let me go find some help. Wait a minute.
Lord.
Because my husband was like, fix it with a drink. You know what you need? You need another drink. That's what you need. That's what you need. You need another drink.
Remind me not to be around him.
I was like, really? Does a drink? I think I'm feeling seasick. You need a drink. Yeah. That's all you need. You need a drink.
But you know, Ann, one of the things that I think coming out of your story for people, it was just amazing to hear you come out of this thing and not completely say, this is the end of my travel. I will never. But you put it all together because you lost the luggage, you got sick, frightened from the storm and all, but you said, I'm not going to let that stop me.
There you go.
Going forth in this business. And I think that's a powerful thing because a lot of us allow easy things. I mean, not to that extent, because that was really, because I know what it's like to be drunk on that, with the sea moving, because that happened to me, you know, and I hadn't drunk anything, but I was as drunk as I could be, you know. So, you know, I just thank God for the fact that you can tell this story and people can know that, you know, because I had thought about the Titanic too when I go on some trips now. And I have to have a window. Even if I don't have a balcony, I got to have that window. But, you know, when you look out that window, if you're not careful, you see that water. You know, and you got to fight to stay away from the window. Because if you stay at the window, you will not be any good knowing that you are out there in the middle of the ocean and cannot get out, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. I just knew we were going down. I just knew we were going down. So anyway, that was a humorous story.
Yes,
we can tell so many. But you're absolutely right. It's all about overcoming your fear and keep going. Do what you got to do.
Yes. That was a very good story, Ann. Very, very good. And you were drawing in people, those traveling people, but people who are skeptical about cruises maybe, or people who've had bad experiences, right? Like I ever said, you know, but you can come out of it. And the good thing is you had a travel business, so you did have a fallback that you had the insurance, right?
That was important. Now that's important.
So beneficial that as a travel professional, I was covered. You didn't mention you got to check when you got home, but still you were able to take advantage of the benefits of, hey, I had that travel insurance, so I was covered. It was all good. We came out and I did travel again and I did drink again, but I may not have traveled and drank at the same time.
And stayed married. Look, and stayed married, you know.
Right, yes.
Married, that's right. Because it was questionable while he was snoring. I was like, we are dying. We are dying and you're asleep.
Look, you can't wake him up. You know.
We are dying. You need to get up and pray. Come on, we're going to pray.
Yeah,
he was like, yeah, okay.
But that was unconditional love right at the beginning. Was, I got you. Just wear my clothes. I love you no matter how you look, how you feel.
About sharing.
Don't worry about it.
He was sharing.
Oh, Lord.
You don't need no clothes, Ann.
Right.
Oh, we got to go.
Right,
we gonna honeymoon. What clothes do you need to wear?
She didn't need no clothes. I'm glad.
Lord. Oh, man.
You need to trust him.
I need something.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
But
a story right there.
Is to put some stuff in your carry-on.
Yeah.
Your makeup, put it in your carry-on.
That is a lesson. That is a
trip.
Yes.
Guess what? Because of that, that's what I always tell my clients. Put a little dress. Make sure you put your makeup in your carry-on bag. You know, your little toiletries, just in case.
Yes.
Just in case.
And I learned this from experience as well.
I'm telling you. I am telling you.
Well, I tell you what, Ann, it was believable.
Yeah.
very authentic.
Yes, Michelle.
Thank you. Yes, because it was true.
Yeah.
And look, and we know do not drink and at the same time.
At the same time.
Drink on dry land.
And we know for a fact that alcohol does not cure motion sickness.
Right.
It don't work.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wow.
I was
You put
gullible.
the Dramamine in your pocket too.
Girl, yes. When I came off that ship, people had brought me so much Dramamine. I had enough for my next cruise. I must have been looking bad because people were like, you don't feel well? I said, I think I'm feeling. Look, we need to let's do something. I got a little bit of makeup. I got a little bit of this your honeymoon? I got
No.
I think I got a sundress that it's brand new. I hadn't even worn it. You can have it if you want, It's just a little sundress. I said, I'm looking horrible. Looking horrible. Look, we on the beach. Where were we, baby? Were we at St. Thomas, St. Croix? When when the ship gets off and you can get off on the beach. Everybody else had on their little cute sundress. I had on Nick's basketball shorts, this big t-shirt.
Oh my.
And I think I had on his sandals because my sandals were like wasn't prepared.
Oh no.
I know they were wondering, well, is she gay? Is that her husband? Why would he wear that?
You know what? That's true love. That's true love, and
Oh, man.
stuck it out with you. He wrote it with you.
Girl, yes,
right.
indeed.
Did he take pictures of that, Ann? Did he take pictures?
Yes, but we don't show them. They're in the back of the photo album. We don't show those. People were like, "How was your honeymoon?" Fine. It was fine. It was great. Pictures?
The camera got wet.
We didn't manage to get any pictures. No.
That was very memorable.
Yes.
Oh, very memorable. No pictures, very memorable.
And
though.
very
It's in
memorable.
here.
Exactly. Exactly. We kept it all in here. You don't need to see those pictures.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I'm telling you, that was one of the stories that I tell, depending on the audience. But you're absolutely right. Sometimes that could go the wrong way. Some people might say, "See, that's why I don't cruise. That's why I don't travel." Da 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 da.
Yeah.
So it all depends on the audience. It really depends on the audience.
Yeah.
And some people say, "Oh, that happened to me too." Oh yeah, that happened to me too. It all depends. It all depends.
Mm-hmm.
It's stories like this that you can tell that shows that you've lived.
Exactly. And that's what makes, like you said, those memories.
Yeah.
That's what makes those memories, makes it worthwhile. Absolutely.
What cruise was you on?
Huh?
What cruise ship were you on?
I know we were on one of Carnival cruise ships. Baby, was that when we went to? That was when we got the watches, right? Was that when we went to St. Thomas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of the ship though.
Well, because the Carnival cruise done upgraded since then. I went in 2018 and they had everything you could think of to help you out.
Well,
Yeah.
This was what? This was 15 years ago.
Yeah, that's why I say they done upgrade.
I'm sure they have. I would hope so.
Yeah.
I don't know, but they can't have that rocking water though. That's for sure.
I'm telling you, shoot, when there's a hurricane,
Yeah,
honey,
right.
y'all need to, honey, please. Now I know. When people kept saying to me, y'all know before we left,
Right.
y'all know there's a hurricane coming. I was like, yeah, I heard that, but it's not gonna be on the ship, right? They were like, oh, okay. Now I know why. Now I know why. When people say that the ocean is rocky,
Yeah.
I didn't know what that meant, but now I do. Now I do. And even though the hurricane was in another part of the Caribbean, which we thought was our saving grace,
Right.
the ocean is amazing.
Yes, it is.
It's amazing. So that hurricane was all the way in another part of the ocean, and it was affecting where we were, the waves where we were. That was
Wow.
God is awesome. God is the way. This world is amazing.
Yes. Yes.
So that was a lesson learned. Excuse me, especially being in the travel industry.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, y'all. Well, look, we have truly gone over time, but I am so proud of each of you for how far you've come, and just being more demonstrative and adding more to what it is that you're saying. And especially in this platform, it really means a lot. It really, you could tell the difference in presentation. And I don't know about you, but as I'm getting on more Zoom presentations, I got another one, a meeting coming up. It just makes a difference. I did a little party for my sorority sisters, and they said, "Man, Ann, you got such energy, and you're so happy." So I used a lot of the stuff that we've been talking about, and just became more demonstrative, and just really became more animated, and it really made a significant difference to the point
I forgot I had another appointment. I gotta go. I'll talk to you guys later.
Okay,
Bye. Okay.
So I'm hoping that you guys will find that that's true as well. Begin being more demonstrative, not just on your presentations, but when you're a guest, wave and participate, clap. How are you doing? I don't know if y'all had an opportunity to get on Harlan Thompson's her African tour.
Yes, that was fun.
It was fun. It was fun. It was really, really well done. I got to give it
My
to
phone kept messing up.
Oh, well, it was
My phone kept
really
messing up. I got on, but it kept messing up, so I had to get off. I missed it, but I know it was good.
It was good, but what I found interesting, I thought it was going to be based on her trip to Africa. But what they did, they found a series of YouTube videos of various parts of Africa and played the YouTube videos. And I thought that one where the Great Migration, it was so real. It was as if it put you right there. Now the streaming, I don't know if it was just on my end, the streaming seemed to be a little off, but nonetheless, it was my guest really enjoyed it. And now she's ready to go to Africa. She was like, "Ed, you got to put a trip together for Africa." I was like, "Okay, on it." So it was really, really good. And that made me think about, man, they used YouTube videos. They didn't even use real. So that's something that all of us could do. Okay, y'all. Well, y'all have a great day. God bless. Congratulations. And would you want a certificate saying you completed what's your story?
Yes,
I can do a certificate and send it out to you guys and just say, hey, in honor of completion. And so thank you so much. So we'll continue. Next week. We're going to be working on the presentation. So download the presentation, practice it, and let's work on doing the presentation, our new presentation, asking those questions, and how you can make the presentation yours, how you can start with your story, weave in your story, or however you want to do it. So next week, we're going to everybody, their homework is to download the presentation, and we're going to start working on that presentation.
Okay.
Okay.
All righty.
All right, y'all.
All right. Thank you so much, Ann.
You are welcome.
Bye.
Now, next week, we're going back to 45 minutes from 9 to 9:45. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Y'all have a good one.
All right, guys.
Okay. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I took leader.
Huh? Okay. Tell me later. I don't know I missed what you just said. Bye-bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.
Bye.